Hey, good morning, California. How goes it? It's another wonderful Monday morning, and Gavin Newsom just happens to be in the news again.
Let's take a moment to thank our sponsor, Mahalo Hosting. Mahalo Hosting offers competitive rates for domain names and web hosting. Why register a star in your name when your name can be your domain? Mahalo Hosting also offers custom high-level domains like .photography, .club, .us, and .tv. Visit www.mahalohosting.com today.
Looks like his problems just continue to get worse and worse as more time goes on. So today from the California Globe, Governor Gavin Newsom, ban on gas-powered cars is dead. Finally, Californians get a little bit of reprieve from this tyrannical state government that we have to operate under. This is dated February 17th, 2025. Just so happens that it's also my dad's birthday. Anyways, let's keep going. EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin just sent California vehicle emissions waiver request to Congress for review. This is big and kills California Governor Gavin Newsom's ban on gas-powered vehicles. In December, the Environmental Protection Agency, on orders from the Biden administration, announced that they approved California's mandate to ban the sale of all gas-powered vehicles by 2035, attempting to make it more difficult for President Donald Trump to federally stop the mandate once he took office, the Globe reported. California's strictest in the nation vehicle registration require manufacturers to comply with the state's much more stringent emission standards and to produce more zero-emission vehicles for the state. However, this is usually sent to Congress prior to authorization. Enter in EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin, who on Friday lifted the order and sent California's waiver request to Congress for review. U.S. Environmental Protection Agency EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin announced in the Oval Office alongside President Donald Trump and the newly created National Energy Dominance Council that the EPA will be transmitting to Congress the Biden administration's rules granting waivers that allowed California to preempt federal car and truck standards promulgated by EPA and the U.S. Department of Transportation's National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. The Biden administration failed to send rules on California's waivers to Congress, preventing the members of Congress from deciding on extremely consequential actions that have massive impacts on costs across the entire United States. The Trump EPA is transparently correcting this wrong and rightly following the rule of law, said EPA Administrator Zeldin. The American people are struggling to make ends meet while dealing with rules that take away their ability to choose a safe and affordable vehicle for their families. As an agency, we are accountable to Congress, but most importantly, we must be accountable to the American people. The EPA rules granting California waivers transmitted to Congress included California's Advanced Clean Cars 2, Advanced Clean Trucks, and Omnibus No Lowered X rules. The two waivers regarding trucks not only increase the cost of those vehicles, but also increase the cost of goods and the costs of living for American families across the country. As the Globe reported, it was only in January that the benevolent California Air Resources Board had the good sense to withdraw the federal waiver to enact emissions limits that exceed federal standards and will require California truck drivers to transition from diesel to electric trucks. This was about to go in effect, but in anticipation of the upcoming Trump administration, the California Air Resources Board actually read the room. Governor Newsom hasn't done that yet. Yeah, he's definitely trailing behind. There was nothing groundbreaking, but California's, or the EPA's Advanced Clean Fleets rule, California Air Resources Board aimed to achieve a total zero emissions truck and bus fleet by 2045, as well as have at least 1.6 million zero emission medium and heavy duty trucks operating in the state in 2048. State officials have long considered the rules essential to cleaning up California's severe air pollution and combating climate change. Cal Matters reported obviously upset that the federal waiver forcing big rigs to go electric being dropped, whereas California's severe air pollution will in California experience climate change. It's probably more important to listen to those in the trucking industry than a reporter paid to write about the impacts of climate change and air pollution and California's policies to tackle them. The Commercial Carrier Journal reported the state of California has withdrawn its remaining outstanding request for waivers that would have allowed the state to enact emission limits and exceed federal standards as the sun sets on President Joe Biden's administration, which had been an ally in the state's fight for some of the world's most stringent air quality regulations. This is the link to that. I'll go ahead and put it in the description. In August of 21, Republican lawmakers from California Senate and Assembly increased pressure on Gavin Newsom to change up his advanced clean fleets mandate because of multiple electric vehicle fires caused by lithium-ion batteries that occurred in the past month, the Globe reported. Administrator Zeldin announced his Powering the Great American Comeback initiative to guide EPA's work to protect human health and the environment while restoring the greatness of an American economy for the first 100 days and beyond. Today's action advances two of the 5 pillars of the initiative, permitting reform, cooperative federalism, cross-agency partnerships, and protecting and bringing back American auto jobs. This post was written by Katie Grimes. So here is the problem which most Californians aren't seeing. We are totally inundated with regulations. These regulations are the brainchild of some of the most stupid politicians that we continue to put into these offices. I'm not exactly sure how and when or how we Californians are going to begin to take responsibility for continuing to place inept politicians into office. Just because they have a political science degree does not necessarily make them professionals on the environment or how to manage the economy. I know that they'd like to believe that they're all that smart and all that in a bag of chips. However, we Californians as a whole, I believe, know what's best for us. Just take a look at the grocery store. Take a look at what's going on, what type of food and how much food is actually costing. Can you imagine these shipping companies that have to go from farm to the grocery store? And I don't know the whole process, but I'm sure meat packing plants having to convert all of their diesel run trucks into electric, and having the limitations that these electric vehicles are able to in regards to distance. I don't know. I mean, it's like we have to stop. There needs to be a common sense wave that goes through. I don't care if you're blue or red or whatever the hell, but for some reason over the last 5 years since the COVID, we've just completely lost our shit. We're just dependent on a bunch of morons, it seems like. And I'm just wondering who's the bigger idiot? We that continue to put these idiots into office, or we that follow these idiots into office, or the idiots themselves? Let's plug. Simping ain't easy. Let's look at the camera here. Simping ain't easy. 12 steps to embracing common sense and rejecting stupidity. A lot of this book has to do with taking responsibility for oneself and how you interact in the world. I've said this for quite some time. Be the change you want to see in the world. That being said, love you, mean it, and I'll see you next time.